You can qualify for Medicaid by giving assets to your children. You just have to comply with Medicaid's rules. See, the government has asset limitations, and they also have something called a 5-year look-back. Meaning if you give assets away within the last 5 years, the government's going to look at those transactions, they're going to take the totality of the gifts, and they're going to divide the totality of the gifts by the cost of the nursing home, and they're going to come up with a penalty. So if you gave assets to your kids 20 years ago, is that going to help you qualify for Medicaid? Absolutely. If you gave assets to your children within the last 5 years, by giving assets to your children, you might have made things actually worse. Because if you give assets to the kids, can you get them back? If you give assets to your children and they pass away, now your assets are controlled by their estate planning documents. If you give assets to children and they get a divorce, now your assets are subject to family law concerns down the street at the local courthouse. So yes, there are circumstances by giving assets to children you can qualify for medical assistance. But oftentimes it's done poorly, inappropriately, and at the wrong time. If you're considering wealth transfer strategies within your family in the context of trying to qualify for Medicaid in the near future, give us a call. The rule book is thick and it's complicated, and we want to make sure that if you're making a decision on giving assets to the family, that we control the process and that you have the ability to undo the gifts that you might have been considering in the first place. We're happy to walk you through the options and tell you ways to qualify for Medicaid. In general, there's only 4 ways to protect your assets from being lost to long-term care. Number 1, just die and not need care in the first place. That's the route I'm going to take. Number 2, you can buy long-term care insurance, so we can involve your financial professional to see if we can afford and find a policy that might fit your needs or your concerns. Number 3, yes, you can give assets to the kids, but it has to be done and you have to stay healthy long enough for that 5-year period of time to expire. And then the other option that you can do is we can place assets off to the side in the form of trust planning so that mom and dad can still control the ship, you can control the distributions, and you can still control the process along the way. So if we make it 5 years, great. The assets become invisible to the governmental conversation. But if you get sick along the way, we still have control of the financial decision-making ability, and then we can route the ship and still chart out a path for your financial success moving forward. My name is Jeff Banner, and I'd love to help your family navigate these waters. Give Heritage a call.